at Pocono International Raceway. 52 laps to go. Rusty Wallace is the leader, and where before the pit stop Ernie Irvan was running right with him, right now Ernie Irvan is in a different county, though still in second place. Here's Rusty as he whistles around this 2.5 mile tri-oval. 3 different corners, 3 very different corners. Let's show you the interval. And there's Rusty, and as they say on the other network, way back here is Ernie Irvan.
We're going to drop back here and see Brett Bodine in 24 car of Jeff Gordon. Seems to be doing a little bit better. He's run Brett Bodine down. Seems to be able to handle him pretty well.
At 6th and 7th place. Ahead of them in 5th is Dale Jarrett. Bobby Hamilton making a pit stop.
I've got to find out something. I've got enough 800 numbers here about your tie today. Group of women from Georgia. Mike, love your tie. Daryl from Iowa. Who buys Mike's tie?
All right, all right.
Sue Ellen. Where did Mike get? Oh man, answer it, please.
This tie is so bright. I wanted it to scare the rain away. This tie was picked out by a young lady who is even more striking and much prettier than this tie at Saks Fifth Avenue in New York.
That's the only tie in the world that matches Jeff Gordon's car.
That's pretty close. It's a Gianni Versace, I think.
Well,
here's the pass. Gordon and Brett Bodine.
Jeff really got to run up off that corner. Great camera work.
You think those engines don't turn? Listen, he's off of it now, but when he's going down that back straightaway, that's old home sound there to me. That's all. Oh, me. Earnhardt went by Mark Martin like he was stopped just then.
That'll be 3rd place for Earnhardt. And it puts the 3 black cars, 1, 2, 3. Imagine that.
Oh man, I tell you that when they say the big 3, it's hard to argue with right now.
Well, it used to be the big 4, and I still think it is. Mark Martin has been struggling.
Well, that's true. The big 4 are 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's add that.
That's for sure. You know, Mark has had a hard time this last month, and it looks like if he can finish here today, he'll be settling right back into things with the 4th place finish last week at Dover, and he's been running in the top 5 all day long. He's been running really well.
Well, he had a pretty similar start to last season, if you remember. He went along and looked like he was struggling, everything going against him. All of a sudden, he won 4 in a row. So they have the capability. The car is there. Mark Martin certainly a driver that can do it. They just need to get the brakes.
Now, they're pretty well spread out. Earnhardt trails the leader by 21 seconds. And now, finally, Dale Jarrett will make his pit stop. Had an interesting call. You know, we take a lot of things for granted in this sport because we live with it every week. But we have a call from a new viewer. Asks if Kyle and Richard Petty are related. Sure. Lee Petty won the Daytona 500 in 1959. His son Richard Petty won that in the NASCAR championship 7 times. And his son Kyle Petty races now. Here's Randy.
Well, talk about stretch and fuel. Amazing that this car has been able to go as far as it is. Once again, we have to remember that they're 3rd gear and 3rd gear only. Now, the bottom line with this car is 49 laps to go. Can they go the distance? Well, I talked to Jimmy Maycar. Left side tires are already on. He said they don't think they can go the distance. They'll probably have to gas and go with 10 laps remaining.
Oh, that'll be tough with only 3rd gear. And Dale Jarrett is a 2nd-generation driver. His dad, Ned Jarrett, now TV broadcaster, 2-time Grand National champion. And, of course, Dale's brother is Glenn Jarrett, whose voice you hear on this telecast.
He's struggling so hard, though. He only has 3rd gear in this car. And getting out of the pits, he must be losing a good 10 to 12 seconds to the leaders every time he makes a stop because he does not have the gearbox to go up through.
And you can't accelerate as hard as you like coming out of there or risk tearing the clutch out of it.
You got it.
As you see on TV right now, as I was talking about earlier, look here, Rusty Wallace getting ready to lap Bill Elliott and Wally Dallenbach, and these cars are running in the top 15. He is on a tear today.
That's nice. When you have a car you can turn under like that. Now, when you have a car that's driving like Rusty Wallace's car, you feel like you're going 10 miles an hour around the racetrack. When you have an ill-handling car, you feel like you're flying and going nowhere.
You're right. We're 153 laps in. Rusty Wallace now owns a 7.5-second lead over Ernie Irvan, Dale Earnhardt, and Mark Martin. Tune in Sunday, June 26th at 6 Eastern for NHRA Today live drag racing excitement, followed by the Western Auto Nationals live final rounds, all from Topeka, Kansas, right here on TNN Motorsports. You're with Rusty Wallace, who now commands a nearly 8-second lead over the field here at Pocono. And right behind him, the cars he lapped just before we went to break, Bill Elliott and Wally Dallenbach, continue to battle. Now this is for 12th place. These are cars that are well up in the chase.
Mike, you see Wally's car drifting out in the corner there. It's a little bit tight in the center of the corner, and Bill got a jump on him there, about a 3-car length lead just in that one corner. Now Dallenbach is closed back up down near the end of the straightaway, and he's running pretty well through the flat part of the racetrack. But down where it's banked a lot, he loses time to Bill Elliott.
Well, his road race experience comes into play here. Bill Elliott in 12th, 1 lap down, just ahead of Dallenbach, then Kyle Petty, Rick Mast, Hut Strickland, Terry Labonte, Bobby Labonte, all 1 lap down, and now 2. Dale Jarrett is a lap down. So is Darrell Waltrip, Todd Bodine, Harry Gant, and Jeff Bodine. So we're now down to 11 cars on the lead lap after this shakeout.
Kenny, we have a situation right now. Clouds are moving back in. What does this do to a race car when it gets cooler out there?
Well, really, it just makes the car stick better. Okay, if Ernie Irvin's loose or he's pushing, it should decrease his problem a little bit. But the situation there is that whoever's hurting the worst, whoever's handling the worst, is going to handle a little bit better. But you look at somebody like Rusty Wallace, he's just going to go faster also.
Question about Bill Elliott on our 800 line. Daryl from Florida, is he leaving the 11 car at the end of this season? Well, we don't know for sure, but there's an awful lot of activity down in Dawsonville, Georgia, the home of the Elliots, and there are some other new NASCAR teams coming in for the '95 season, so who knows?
You know, these guys are trying so hard right now, and things are just not falling into place. It happens to every race team sooner or later. Richard Petty's been through it. Everybody, the best winners in racing, go through bad years. Dale Earnhardt had a year where he couldn't do anything right. Bill Elliott and those guys will be back again. You can believe that.
Underneath John Andretti in the Billy Hagan car is Dale Earnhardt and Mark Martin. They continue their battle for 3rd place.
Earlier, you seen Dale Earnhardt dust off.
That's a
really
good word.
He dusted him off. Earnhardt passed Mark really easy. Now the sun has gone away, and it looks like Mark has kind of closed back in on him. You see as Earnhardt pulls him up off that corner right there, and then they come back around the corner and they're bumper to bumper. So there's a lot of places in this racetrack where the drafting effect really comes in, or you can get a better run at the other car.
Earnhardt outside of Rich Bickle and Terry Labonte.
Now that was a real nice move by the lap over cars there to let Mark Martin and those guys go at it there. They just kind of slacked off the pace a little bit and let Dale and those guys go at it.
Loy Allen just ahead of Earnhardt now. And Dale squeezes under as you watch from the Ray Bestis brakes aerial platform.
Oh, Mark Martin comes so close to spinning that car out off of turn 4 just then. I can't begin to tell you. You could see the wheels go back in the opposite direction. That's how far sideways he was.
For the 4th time this season, Rusty Wallace has led the most laps and clinched that 5-point bonus. Watching Mark Martin. Let's show you that again.
Yeah, we were right on him with the helicopter cam a second ago, and he come off the corner over here. Okay, watch this car right here. Look how far sideways.
Ooh.
Now, I'm going to tell you what. That's when Buddy Baker pats his chair and says, thank you for this good job.
I'm with you.
I tell you, there's not very many drivers. It seems like Mark Martin comes off the corner sideways more than anybody. He really does a good job at running that car what I call neutral and saving it.
Dale Earnhardt, Jimmy Spencer, Mark Martin, 3 loosest running guys here.
And if they're not, it sure does appear on TV, doesn't it, guys?
Spencer went to the garage area early, so did Sterling Marlin and Chuck Bowen in a bad crash at turn 1. Derek Colt. The Jimmy Means car with Bob Keselowski, Mike Wallace, and Ward Burton out of the race. 10 cars on the lead lap as you ride with the leader. Rusty Wallace going for 2 in a row today. Last week's winner at Dover. 41 laps to go. We'll be right back.